Hey everybody, this is Paul from Aerographical, and today we're going to be looking at the Airspeed Indicator and how we animate it within PowerPoint. So there's a couple of different ways we can do this. The first one is the morph transition, which we're going to talk about, and the second we're just going to use some traditional animations within PowerPoint. So all I've done is I've put a new slide into my presentation there, and all I'm going to do is insert the graphics. So I'm going to go to Pictures and navigate to where the graphics pack is on your machine. So I'm going to just use the Airspeed no back, and I'm going to insert that into my presentation, and I'm just also going to insert the needle as well, the pointer. So you can see, because the pointer is sized to the exact size of the back, it will go into the middle. What you can do now is, if you need to resize or move it, you just select them, and again we can resize them, we can move them, we can put them all wherever we need to on our slide. I'm going to keep them roughly in the middle because I'm not going to put anything else into this presentation for this time. So as you can see, I've got the back and I've also got the pointer, so I can select the pointer and I can move it around wherever I want. Alright, so it spins in the correct way. So if you want, the most simplest way is we can just duplicate that slide, and we can just and then all we can do then is just move that needle to whatever we want for each slide, and it will just, as the presentation moves along, the needle will move. But we can do that a little bit more nicely by using the morph transition. So all I'm going to do is select that slide there, and I'm going to press Ctrl D, which will duplicate that slide. I'm just going to do that twice. I'm going to select that slide, I'm going to go to transitions, I'm going to select morph, okay? And again, that one, morph, make sure it's on morph, and that one on morph. And what the morph does, it allows an animation between the slides, okay? If you mouse over that, it actually tells you, so it moves things on the previous slide. So it says duplicate slide, move things around, apply the morph transition, and it allows you to animate things really nicely. So for example, if I was to go on this slide here, select my pointer there and just move it around to 80 knots, okay? And again, if I was to do that one and move that around to 140 knots, okay, you can see what happens. All I'm going to do is press Shift and F5 to play the presentation from the current slide. And again, if I click through the presentation now, you can see that needle lovely moves all the way around to the different places I want. And I can do that, Control D, and if I wanted to make it go back, sorry, select that properly, Paul, come on. If I wanted to move it back to 100, again, it would do exactly the same. So it would move where I put it on the slide. So that one goes to 80, 40, and then the next one it'll go back to 100. So you can see you've got quite a lot of control on exactly where that needle will go, and it's a very, very easy way of animating within PowerPoint and giving you some really good results. Now, if you want to do it a traditional way, what we can do is I'll just duplicate that slide again, and I'll just remove the morph on that one, so I don't want it to animate, and I'm just going to put that back to 0 for this presentation. So as I said, what we can do is we can use the traditional animations within PowerPoint. What you need to do is just select your animation pane from this button here, and that will give us our animations to one side. I'm going to select the pointer, and all I'm going to drop that down and go to spin, and you can see using the traditional animation it will spin 360 degrees around the dial. So to modify that, what I can do is I can go to effect options there, and what this box will allow me to do is to just put some settings on things like timing. So if you want it to be on click, with previous or after animations, standard PowerPoint animation, okay, and then we can go from duration, anything from 20 seconds down to 0.5. So I'll just keep that for 2 for a minute. And the effect, we can put I always put a smooth end and start on there. It just makes the animation look a bit nicer. And what we can do then, we can select what distance we want the pointer to spin. So I'm going to use custom, and what we're going to do is I'm going to set a custom degrees. One of the downsides about using this technique is you're going to have to kind of figure out the degrees around the dial to get exact readings, and that's why the morph works so well. So for example, if I wanted to go to 80 like I did last time, I'm going to go, that's probably about, I don't know, 80 degrees, 82 degrees, something like that. and it's a little bit of a guesswork. So press return there, and if we were to run that presentation there, oh, guesswork, 82 degrees. So you can see there is a little bit of playing there to get it exactly where you need to go, but it will animate. So if I select that pointer again and add another animation, another spin, for example, and then if I wanted to click again and get it to go to 80 down to 140 like I did for the morph, what I can do then is just modify that effect options again. So this time I want it again smooth start, smooth end, and all I'm going to do is from 80 degrees to 140, that's probably in the region of 100 degrees maybe, because the animation will start from the 80 and go down to the 40. Okay, so you can see it doesn't show correctly because it's only showing that animation, but if I was to go Shift F5 and play from that slide, you can see when I press the first click it goes to 80, and the second click it'll go down to roughly 140. As you can see, it's not quite exact, and you're gonna have to play with the degrees, and that's why I recommend using the morph if you can, but you can use traditional animation with this as well. And don't forget, you can animate anything within PowerPoint, so you can put your text boxes in, your graphics to animate, to get your students to understand the concept of the airspeed indicator. That's about it. Any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to get in touch, and just want to say thank you very much for supporting Aerographical.